Welcome back to another episode of Next Up Sports Talk, where we talk about the Reggae Boys. And I want to know from you, the people, why no young players in the diaspora being called up to the senior team yet? That's what we're talking about today. Thank you to everybody that is watching this video. If you like the content, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, like, comment, and share. And for those that have subscribed, for those who have liked, I salute you and I thank you so very much for continuing to help build a platform here where we talk about all things football. Now, I know it's a little bit provoking. But with this question I'm asking, but if you got some answers, definitely let me know in the comment section. Definitely want to give a big shout out to the Most High, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because without him, for me, none of this would be possible. I don't know about for you, but for me, none of this would be possible. So definitely got a big shout out and all love there. Now let's get into it. Let's waste no time. Why haven't some of the young players that are playing in the diaspora been called up to the senior team yet to get them, one, acclimated to the CONCACAF game, two, acclimated to the team on and off the pitch, as well as the administrative staff, trainers, massage therapists, chef, strength and conditioning, overall, and definitely the fans, get them to be familiar with what they bring to the table. So that's the question I'm asking today, because, I got a few names. I don't have all the names, but I do got a few names that I'd like to bring, to your attention and asking you why. And I'm giving you these names. You can look them up as well in your own spare time and ask them the question as well. But I'm definitely going to give you those names. So first off, definitely want to say shout out to each and every one of you guys for continuing to like the content. We're going to go straight down to DeJane Anthony Brown. I'm not sure why he hasn't been called up yet. He plays for Derby County. 19 years old, attacker, center forward, if I'm not mistaken. And he's playing in the same division as Mari Bell, Holgate, so on and so forth. So I'm not really understanding how come at 19 he hasn't gotten an opportunity to get a look in yet. Now, things could be happening behind the scenes to kind of be part of the cause as to why. But I'm asking, hoping that, some answers could be answered. Some questions could be answered here. You also have the likes of Brandon Cover, plays for Port Val. Haven't really seen his name mentioned as much. And then you have the likes of what's my brother here? You got was it Badley Morgan, playing in Scotland, 21 years old. Luke Bailey Badley Morgan. Another name that, we should definitely, I think as an organization, kind of look into some of these players and see what they can offer, if they want to come, if they don't want to come in. Maybe there's conversations that I've had between these, but in terms of looking forward to the future, we're definitely looking at right now. We're not looking past right now, but in 2 years, a lot of things can happen in 2 years. World Cup 2026, a lot of things can happen. Yes, we want to get the camaraderie of the team together. We want to get the chemistry on the field together. But bringing in some of these young players alongside a K-Ron Anderson, a Kaheem Dixon, some Richard King, some of these young players to give them an opportunity to see how, training camp, find a way to, I know it's a short window when the international window is there. It's a very short window. I think it's about 2.5 weeks with travel back and forth. And so it's understandable that it's difficult. But some of these players being so young, playing in these leagues, getting them acclimated to the Jamaican, public, I think is something that we should be looking at all the way around. There's more players than just those players that I've mentioned. There's a plethora of other players that are out there playing in many different leagues that could get that opportunity. You have Jade Clark. Jade Clark is playing. He's an attacker. And he's playing in Malta. These are some of the players I'd like to know how come they haven't gotten the opportunity. Haven't heard much about them. There hasn't been no news, from the YouTube space or from traditional media that talks about these players that are out there in the diaspora playing. We hear a lot about the players coming out of, Manning Cup and the Costa Cup and out of the JPL, giving the opportunities to the players. But what about these players that have, as what Steve McLaren calls it, heritage players, Jamaican heritage, but they might have been born somewhere else in the world, whether it's the US, the UK, somewhere in Europe, Canada, wherever they're born, but they carry Jamaican nationality, get an opportunity. They're playing in these first division teams in Ireland and in Russia and North Macedonia and Malta and Latvia and Finland and Switzerland and Sweden, Slovenia. You have Serbia, you have Scotland, Denmark, Costa Rica, Azerbaijan. Yeah, you have Saudi, Armenia. You have a lot of players out there, and some of these players are young. Kaheem Anthony Paris, 24 years old, midfielder, birthplace Kingston, Jamaica. Some of these players might be able to add some quality, some of those things that we need if we can, reach out and see if Pika, whoever is in charge, can build a relationship with these players. Obviously, amidst all the talk going on regarding the administration and the unprofessionalism and unorganized that they can be, nonetheless, there should be reaching out to not only the players in England, you know what I mean, but everywhere else. We've seen, obviously, Norman Campbell, he's playing in Denmark right now, is also on the team. Sifas, if I'm not mistaken, Sifas is playing in Turkey. You have Lambakisa playing in Switzerland. You understand? But then you have two players played in Sweden that, should be able to maybe get a look in, a little bit older. But there's a lot of players here, especially in the MLS, and the USL. There's players there as well. I'm pretty sure that we can look to see what they can bring quality-wise to the team. So that's why I'm here wondering, as I mentioned some of those names, in your own time, if you want to do some research on them to find out whether they're the goods or not, should be able to definitely do that and check in and see whether or not, those are players that should be brought in. And definitely. But I'm more looking at the players like Dujane Anthony Brown, 19 years old. Brandon Covers, 19 years old. Jade. What's his name again? You got Badley Morgan playing in Scotland, 20 years old. And we're talking about building for the future, right? A lot of these players that I'm talking about are players that you can build for the future after the Bobby Reeds, after the Casey Palmers, after the Lati Bauders, after Shamar Nicholson and Mikel Antonio has passed on, in terms of, the next, we know we got a lot of players coming in as well, but we should be looking to always continuing to retool and to get the next generation kind of acclimated to the team and built into the system of the team. Get used to some of the, some of those things that we struggle with as a federation, that we're working on, obviously, to get better at. 'Cause it's not about only beating the JFF for the things they have not done, but you also have to talk about the things they have done, or maybe they have not even paid attention to because of everything that's going on around them and how much attention it takes to run the federation. But nonetheless, the media, we continue to look for these players. We continue to scour the earth and look for players to help towards the goal of World Cup 2026. So these are just a few names. I'd be calling a bunch more names of young players that are playing in all over the world that got that Jamaican nationality, that I'm not sure if they've even gotten a phone call. If a tape has been looked at by the coaching staff or whatnot, Maron Gordon and his staff. There hasn't been no talk about any of these players. Like, watch out for this player. Let's see what this player. But that's what we're here for. That's why I got to ask you the question. When are we going to start to retool and get these 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old players ready ready for the first team, ready for the men's national team, the senior team, and playing. Yeah, they can play under 20, but if they can play right now in the men's team and get acclimated, I know it's only 23-man squad, but there has to be some type of integration, integrate them into the squad if they want to give up their break during international break. If they want to give up some time and come and get integrated to the squad, I think it's something that should be looked at. That one is on the house. Stay blessed, stay safe. Again, why hasn't none of these young players, from my understanding and from scouring the internet and from listening to everybody, how come none of these young players have even gotten a look in? They've been talked about by vloggers. They've been talked about by my YouTube vlogging family. Some of them I don't know personally. I've never met, only heard of them. But we vlog together on the Reggae Boys, so we a family. We want to build this thing to another level. I've heard a lot of them talk about it, these players, and how comes they haven't gotten a look in. But I haven't seen or heard any movement from the Federation. Take a stock at it. Check out some of these players. They're playing phenomenal right now. And they're young, so they're going to continue to build. Get them into the CONCACAF rules. Understand how the CONCACAF referees ref Jamaica. Understanding how the players play against Jamaica. The fields and the surfaces that they're playing on. Get them acclimated from wherever they play club football to what goes on the national team. And I think we might be onto something phenomenal for years to come. We don't want to wait till another 20 years from 98 to 2026 to try to get to the World Cup. Nah, we're trying to build a lasting legacy, something that lasts forever. Year after year after year, we're competing for trophies. We're winning trophies. We're joining tournaments, winning tournaments, and we continue to build the next generation. That's how I'm looking at it. That's how I see it. But let me know what you think in the comment section, because, that's where we conversate for now until I do my live stream. Yeah, that's exactly where you can check me out in the comment section. Let's talk about it and why no young players in the diaspora has been called up yet. And I'm talking about the 19, 20, 21, 22, anywhere from 18 to 22 is what I'm talking about. I'm out of here. Stay blessed, stay safe. Peace. I really, really, really hope you enjoyed the video. If you want more from me and this platform, Next Up Sports Talk, subscribe to the channel. Like the video, comment on the video, because I'll be in the comment section, that's for sure. And definitely check the community page. The community page is the greatest way to keep up to date with what goes on right here at Next Up Sports Talk. We got a lot of videos on the Reggae Boys, a lot of videos on Arsenal. We got live streams also. So stay tuned, because we got more and more content coming your way. And I hope to see you on the next video with your comments, with your like, and definitely subscribing to the channel. Peace and love.